Becky from Lessons by the Lake. Today I want to talk to you about teaching the reading strategy clarifying. This is such an important and difficult skill to teach with your students because we can't tell when students are confused or they're misunderstanding something. And we want the students to always tell us when they're confused and don't understand, but we know that's not always the case. We know there's some students who sit there and don't understand the directions but don't want to say anything. So part of teaching clarifying, I believe, is really celebrating when you realize you don't understand something, when you realize something needs clarifying. So while we're reading, I show them that sometimes I don't understand words in the text. I don't understand what the author means. And they see that it's very common and normal and acceptable to not understand and to say that you need to clarify something. So we celebrate when they're doing SSR, or they're doing an activity and they find something that needs clarifying. We all get so excited because then our friend, Clarissa the Clarifier, gets to come out and help us. So let me tell you some more about her. So I teach reading strategies in a concrete way and use the Comprehension Crew, which is a bunch of characters, you can see some more behind me, to teach my students what the reading strategies mean. So each character has a profession, a prop, a gesture, a theme song, all these things about them that really truly bring them to life for the student and teach them in a meaningful way what that reading strategy means. So Clarissa the Clarifier wants everything to be perfect and wants to understand everything. So she helps us stop and say, I don't understand, so I blank. And then we need to figure out what we're going to do. Or I didn't get the word, part, idea, whatever it is, so I'm going to blank. So she really helps us to celebrate when we don't understand and learn what we need to do to fix those problems. So before I launch into teaching this, I like to introduce clarifying with pictures. So these are my clarifying task cards. So there's a lot of interesting things on here. I specifically picked out these photographs to go with clarifying. I'll put a link to these in the description. And students are confused, they don't understand. But when we first start with this, we don't necessarily have a way to clarify our understanding. We're just celebrating and acknowledging what we don't understand. I don't understand why there's hair on these little creatures. So there's lots of different things that students can think about and explore and not understand about these pictures. I also find it fun to sometimes write a message to the students on the board and pull out a few words and translate them into another language that they don't know. And then talk to them about, okay, so how can we figure out what these words are? So then we're starting to introduce some of those strategies with how we're using context clues and how we're figuring out these problems that we're having while we're reading that we need to understand to be able to fully understand the text. So I have found with students that they're okay with just reading through a text and not necessarily understanding everything. So we really want to bring it to their attention how important and vital it is to their understanding and their experience with the text that they understand all of the words, what's happening, they don't have any questions about what's going on. So that's really where Clarissa the Clarifier comes in and helps us make those clarifications as we go. So as part of Clarissa the Clarifier, we learn different word solving strategies and different ways to clarify events. So as I'm doing my read aloud during my shared reading, which is the first 10 to 15 minutes of my reading block, and then we go into reading centers. So I read a picture book and I'm stopping to model think alouds when I don't understand something. So each day I teach them a new strategy and I'm modeling what that looks like and sounds like to use that strategy. And then it's the students' turn and I ask them that I say, I don't understand this word, can you help me figure it out? Or ask them if there's any words or events that they don't understand and they can help figure it out. So it's a really interactive experience that we're trying out and working through the reading strategy together. I find this is really helpful with teaching clarifying. So anytime that you can relate clarifying to real life situations, if students are unsure what they're supposed to buy for lunch that day, what's on the menu, that's something that needs clarifying. So just keep celebrating that little act of not knowing something and wanting your misunderstanding to be fixed and clarified for you. That's the most concrete, important part when it comes to teaching clarifying. And then you just keep building on that. You get that foundational concrete understanding and you keep building about what strategy you're going to use, and that naturally becomes part of how these students read. They're applying this clarification reading strategy over and over again independently in their own reading because you gave them that strong, concrete understanding and you inspired them to be good readers and instilled those good reading habits. So I'm going to put the links below if you want to learn more about Clarissa the Clarifier or any other Comprehension Crew, but I hope that this helps you get started teaching clarifying in your classroom. Please let me know if you have any questions or anything I can do to help you get started, and thank you for stopping by.